Planting a blackberry bush is kind of like planting a weed or something, which nobody does, but I hear they're a problem in other states where they just grow too wild. But if you enjoy blackberries, it's okay if they grow wild, or actually it's not wild, they just grow freely without intervention from humans. So I've already got some soil in here from my little raised bed garden that I put here, and I've trimmed off some of the longer ends of the blackberry roots, and got my soil about halfway up. I'm going to just set that in top where I want it and start loading some soil in there. And I don't want to give away too much of my soil so I'm not going to put this at the top. I'm just going to leave it kind of down in there a little bit, and you can see there's roots here also. Apparently this was laying over. So what you could do with those roots there is just snip them off. There's enough at the bottom where this is going to grow anyway. Cut. Okay, we're going to cut this off right near the top without cutting our fingers off. So cut the top off with some kind of sharp tool. My army shovel seems to do the job on some solid wood. I'm going to go ahead and get all these roots into the soil now, and it's probably going to start growing the nodes off of this end where I just cut it, but I'm not going to fool around with those roots. I got it in there kind of low, and we're just going to go ahead and throw some soil over it, and it should pop up within a few days. I'm going to go ahead and leave the tip of this out where I just cut it with the shovel. Push the soil down kind of snug around it, around all those roots, and in less than a week this should have some new leaves on it. Here's some cuttings that I just took off, or actually this was the bottom of an 8-foot plant that I started with 2 cuttings this big, and in 8 months it was about 8 feet tall by 8 feet wide. So watch where you plant your blackberries. So again, I'm going to go ahead and show you real quick how I'm going to trim these roots here to fit inside this pot. I want it in the center, so I'm going to trim them a little inside this edge here. A little inside this edge, we're going to trim all these roots, and it'll still grow because it's a really hardy plant. So we got that trimmed down, and we're going to go ahead and throw some soil in the bottom of our pot. You may want to put rocks in the bottom for drainage, but I don't have that luxury. But I do have the luxury of having a lot of worms, and the worms and insects will aerate this stuff that I'll start out here, and that'll provide me enough drainage with the worms tunneling around and other insects. So if you have some perlite, you might want to mix it in to your soil. You could see a little red wiggler worm right there. There's some big ones and small ones, but they're all in here. We'll throw him in the pot and a little soil over him. So that's how you're going to plant your cuttings there. One more cutting I'm going to plant, and I'll do that silently and real quick and do it on fast forward.